Hello everyone, today we have new video review, and as you can see this time we are going to talk about fresh release from ICM. So this is a figure set in 1/32 scale. As you can see, it copies World War II RAF Cadets, and we have 4 figures in one box, and you can notice that it's 1 pilot and 3 officers. So it will be interesting to see what is actually supplied in this nice box, how these figures are designed and molded, and how they may be handy with the 1/32 scale British aircraft. As you remember, ICM recently released several aircraft kits in the same scale, so maybe you can combine them with these models or maybe with some other kit from a different brand, but still we have a commercial sample here, so it means nothing will change. You'll get exactly the same stuff as what you'll see in this video review, so we are going to open it together and check what is actually supplied inside. So first of all, box size is standard for this brand. Here you can see comparison in my hand. As I said before, this box art actually hints on what to expect inside for figures, and kit number is 32-113, it's written here. Next, on the side here we have some information about the kit. Unfortunately I do not see it through this angle, so just give me a second. There are 27 parts for assembly of 4 figures. It's written here, and of course glue and paint is not included. Surprise, surprise. And on the opposite side you can notice a small, let's say, paint guide for these figures, but obviously there will be a bit more detailed thing inside, so we should open this box and check what is supplied inside. As usual, well, it's recent update, let's say. Now all ICM kits come sealed with tape from several sites, so you won't be able to open it in order to check what is actually supplied inside and whether parts are intact, and that's something you should keep in mind. Maybe it's better to ask your seller to pack everything carefully in order to avoid any accidental damage. But usually ICM kits do not have such an issue because they have really good boxes, and I will explain in a second what I mean by that. So I cut all the tape, and that's actually what I call good box, let's say. So here we have a color printed top lid, which I am now trying to remove because it's a bit of a tight fit. As you can see, it does not provide any protection. It's a flexible color printed top lid, but we have sturdy white cardboard box which should protect all the parts. It's really durable, and here inside we have one and only plastic sprue which is packed into a resealable plastic bag, and assembly manual, I guess marking guide on the bottom. We will see it further in the video. First we are going to open this plastic bag and check what is given on this frame. Okay, so we have even part number in here. I will zoom in a second. Yeah, now you should be able to see. Let's open the camera a bit. So we have 4 figures, as you remember, and it's easy to guess that each of the corners is dedicated to one of these figures. And again, there is one pilot. You can see his parts here. He is molded together with the helmet and the parachute. As you can see, it is molded here. But now I suggest that we zoom in as much as we can and we check everything one by one. It means we can fit one corner of the sprue into the frame. So again, the parts design and parts division is I would say somewhat similar to what we are usually getting in 1/35 scale. So if you have some experience with the 35 scale figures, you will be fine here. And you can notice that torso is molded as a one-piece part, head is pre-molded together with the head. So you will have to be careful while painting all this stuff necessary to use a sharp brush, otherwise it will be a bit tricky to get the nice finish on the head and maybe also on the clothes as well. But I do not see any possible molding damage. As you can see, a number of attachment points is reduced to the possible minimum. Maybe, for example, for the head, I would rather prefer to have the attachment point on the neck, not on the top of the head, but it's something where you will have to be careful. Next, we continue with another figure. Here we have something interesting because you can notice that we are given 2 choices of the heads, and it might give you some variety, at least in this. I'm just looking at the assembly manual at the same time. I do not see anything mentioning this. I guess it will be on the opposite side. But again, we have the same parts designed. It means pre-shaped one-piece hands, legs, and one-piece torso. Of course, head looks nice. Maybe I will bring it closer so that you can see what I'm talking about. Camera should focus. Yeah, now you should be able to see the spatial features. Note also that on the torso we have some minor items also pre-molded, which is really cool. But again, it will require some fine brushes in order to bring it out on your figure. Here we continue with the third figurine. So this one is also provided in standing position. As you remember, all four are standing, so you won't be able to place anybody in the cockpit. And why I'm mentioning this, because now we are moving to the fourth and final figure here. That's the pilot, and he can only be positioned beside the aircraft in standing position. He can't be placed somewhere else, maybe in the cockpit, so keep it in mind. And I think still it will be enough for an interesting diorama scene. In 1/32 scale it will make your project a bit more realistic looking and maybe a bit more engaging. Here you can see these parts from the opposite side, so obviously they're molded and detailed from both sides. And there are no guiding elements whatsoever. Here you have to be careful while joining all these parts. Maybe keep track of the possible gaps between these parts, especially between hands, legs, and head. Should be easy, but legs, hands, it will be a bit tricky, so that you get the natural looking position. Next we continue with assembly manual. So this one is provided on one sheet of paper. I will close the camera a bit so that it won't be that bright. Let's zoom out. Okay, parts map, colors chart. There is also a small advice on which varnish to use on your model. As you can see, matte, satin, or gloss. And here we have assembly manual, which is combined together with a marking guide. As you can see, it is printed in color, so it might be handy. Still, I would rather prefer to find some reference material in order to understand how to paint, for example, uniform, how to paint this flying code. So do not be lazy. Try to find some suitable literature with photos, or maybe with some drawings, more extensive drawings, which will explain you what to do. And the last thing in the box is this special note, which mentions that ICM can replace all the broken sprues. Just contact them via their email or maybe their Facebook. They're really quick to answer, so do not hesitate on this. And as for the kit, it should be already available. You can get it in any good model shop, for example in Modelimex. Of course, I will be happy to hear your opinion about such release. Do not forget to write it here in the comment section below. If you like this video, press the like button, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and I will see you in the next video review as usual. Thank you for joining me today, and bye!